Imagine this. In the dead of night, beneath the flickering torchlight of an ancient Egyptian temple, a priest and priestess lock eyes, their bodies entwined not merely in passion, but in a sacred rite older than recorded history. With every breath, every movement, they are not chasing fleeting pleasure. They are weaving the very fabric of reality itself, summoning gods, bending fate, and igniting the spark of creation that echoes through the cosmos. This was no mere act of lust. This was sex magic, the most powerful, most misunderstood, and most deliberately concealed spiritual technology ever known to humanity. For millennia, the elite initiates of secret societies, Tantric masters of the East, and alchemists of the West have guarded this knowledge like a dragon guards its gold. Why? Because when sexual energy is consciously directed, it becomes the ultimate force of manifestation, far more potent than prayer, meditation, or ritual alone. It is the raw, primordial fire that fuels both creation and destruction, the same current that brought the universe into being. The churches feared it. The empires banned it. The modern world shamed it into silence. And yet, it never disappeared. It simply went underground, whispered only among those brave enough to reclaim their divine birthright. Today, I am breaking that silence. In this video, we are going to resurrect the lost art of sex magic, not as some New Age fantasy or hedonistic indulgence, but as the sacred, disciplined, and extraordinarily powerful spiritual practice it was always meant to be. You will discover how ancient civilizations used sexual union to commune with divine forces and manifest impossible outcomes, the hidden mechanics of sexual energy, and why it is the fastest pathway to spiritual awakening, the difference between ordinary sex and true alchemical sexuality, and most importantly, practical, step-by-step techniques that you can begin using tonight, whether alone or with a partner, to harness this force for healing, manifestation, enlightenment, and unbreakable spiritual power. But be warned, this knowledge is not for the casual seeker. It demands respect. It demands maturity. It demands that you approach it as a sacred act, not a shortcut. What you are about to learn has been called the Great Arcanum, the ultimate secret of the mystery schools. Aleister Crowley practiced it. The Templars were accused of it. Tantric yogis have mastered it for thousands of years. And now, it's your turn. Are you ready to awaken the god and goddess within through the most primal and sacred act of all? Let us begin. Let us step through the veil of time, back to when humanity still remembered that the body is a temple and desire a divine flame. In the beginning, there was no separation between sex and spirit. The oldest known spiritual artifacts, 30,000-year-old stone phalluses and vulva carvings found across Europe, were not toys of primitive lust. They were votive offerings, placed in sacred caves where the first shamans danced the union of earth and sky. To our ancestors, the sexual act was the original sacrament, the moment when mortal flesh mirrored the cosmic copulation that birthed the stars. Fast forward to ancient Egypt. In the secret chambers of the Temple of Karnak, initiates of the mysteries of Isis and Osiris performed the hieros gamos, the holy marriage. Here, the priestess embodied the goddess, the priest embodied the god, and their prolonged, ecstatic union was believed to recharge the Nile's flood, ensure the rising of the sun, and maintain Ma'at, the cosmic order itself. Papyrus scrolls that survived the burning's whisper of the opening of the mouth with the iron of heaven, a coded reference to directing orgasmic energy to awaken the higher chakras and resurrect the soul while still in the body. In India, the Tantras emerged around the 5th century CE, though their roots are far older. The Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, whispered by Shiva to Devi, lists 112 meditation techniques. More than a dozen involve sexual union as the supreme method for transcending duality. The left-hand path of Vamachara deliberately embraced the forbidden, semen retention, menstrual blood rituals, and orgiastic rites in cremation grounds, all to shatter the ego and realize that Shiva and Shakti are never separate. These practices were so potent that only the bravest adepts, those who had already mastered fear and desire, were permitted to attempt them. Meanwhile, in China, the Taoist adepts of the Yellow Court perfected sexual alchemy. Texts like the Su Nu Ching, classic of the White Madame, and the teachings of the Three Immortals reveal a sophisticated science. By circulating sexual energy through the microcosmic orbit, a couple could refine Jing, sexual essence, into Qi, life force, then into Shen, spirit, and finally into the void, achieving literal immortality. Emperors kept harems not for pleasure alone, but to harvest the yin essence of hundreds of virgins in order to prolong their reign. Across the Mediterranean, the Greek mystery schools of Eleusis, Dionysus, and Orpheus used erotic initiation as the fast track to gnosis. Plato, in the Symposium, hints that the highest love is not physical embrace, but the moment two souls beget wisdom upon one another in an orgasm of the spirit. Yet behind the philosophical veil, the secret rites involved sacred prostitution and the lesser mysteries of carnal ecstasy, leading to the greater mysteries of divine vision. Then came the Gnostics, those wild heretics of early Christianity, who taught that the material world was created by a flawed demiurge, and that the only way to escape his prison was through direct knowledge, gnosis, obtained, in part, through the redemption of the body. The Gospel of Philip declares, "The companion of the Savior is Mary Magdalene. He loved her more than all the disciples, and used to kiss her often on the mouth." Certain Gnostic sects practiced the bridal chamber rite, a sacramental sexual union that reenacted the reunion of Sophia with the divine Pleroma. Even the Knights Templar, guardians of the Holy Grail, were accused of worshipping Baphomet and engaging in unnatural acts during their initiations. Whispers persist that their true secret was the alchemical transformation of sexual force into the philosopher's stone of enlightenment, a secret they allegedly learned from Sufi and Ismaili initiates in the Middle East. Kabbalists of the Zohar speak of the Shekinah, the divine feminine exiled in matter, and how the righteous couple, through conscious and holy intercourse on Friday night, performs tikkun, the repair of the cosmos itself, drawing down the 10 Sephirot in ecstatic union. Aleister Crowley, Paschal Beverly Randolph, Maria de Naglowska, and later Samael Aun Weor all inherited fragments of this primordial tradition. Each added their key, yet all pointed to the same truth. Sexual energy is the most concentrated form of creative fire available to the incarnated soul. When scattered unconsciously, it binds us to illusion. When mastered, it becomes the rocket fuel of godhood. Every major spiritual tradition on earth once possessed this teaching. Every single one was forced to hide it when patriarchal priesthood seized power and declared the body sinful. But the flame was never extinguished, only passed hand to hand, mouth to ear, in the dark. And now it is being returned to you. Let us now descend into the hidden architecture of the human being and reveal why sexual energy is not merely pleasure. It is the concentrated lightning of the divine striking through your flesh. At the base of your spine sleeps the Kundalini serpent, coiled 3.5 times around the sacred stone of the Muladhara. This is not poetry. This is anatomy seen with awakened eyes. In the ancient texts, it is called the fire of Brahma, the red dragon of the alchemists, the serpent power that Moses raised in the wilderness. It is your personal Big Bang in potential form. When sexual arousal begins, something extraordinary happens that modern science is only now beginning to glimpse. The gonads release not just hormones, but a concentrated elixir of life force, Jing in Chinese, Bindu in Sanskrit, the quintessence of the alchemists. This energy is electrically charged, magnetically polarized, and imprinted with your deepest intentions. It rises through the nervous system like liquid fire, seeking the royal road upward. In ordinary sex, this force is allowed to explode outward at the moment of climax. The energy is scattered into the ether, the body is temporarily depleted, and the aura contracts like a flower closing at night. Pleasure is experienced, yes, but power is lost. The ancient masters called this dying in the arms of the beloved, a little death that reinforces separation from the divine. In sex magic, everything changes at this precise moment. Instead of release, there is containment. Instead of explosion, there is implosion. Instead of loss, there is transmutation. Imagine your sexual energy as molten gold pouring from the furnace of the lower chakras. In profane sexuality, this gold is poured onto the cold ground where it hardens into useless trinkets. In sacred sexuality, the same molten gold is drawn upward through the royal art of breath, attention, and muscular contraction, poured into the alchemical crucible of the heart and brain, where it becomes the philosopher's stone itself, capable of turning leaden human consciousness into divine gold. Here is the first great secret. Orgasm and ejaculation are not the same thing. The Western world has collapsed these two phenomena into one, robbing men especially of their birthright. The orgasm is a whole-body, multi-chakric wave of ecstasy that can last minutes or even hours when cultivated. Ejaculation is merely the spasmodic release of seminal fluid, a reflex that can be separated from the orgasmic wave entirely. Women have always known this intuitively, multiple orgasms without depletion, but men were deliberately kept ignorant. When a man learns to experience full-body orgasm without seminal loss, what the Taoists call locking the gate or drawing the saber, the energy reverses direction. Instead of shooting outward, it shoots upward along the spine in a blinding rush the Indians call the ascent of Kundalini. The prostate swells with alchemical pressure, the brain floods with natural DMT-like compounds, and for one timeless instant, you are literally having sex with God. This is the true meaning of the caduceus, the two serpents of Ida and Pingala entwining around the staff of Sushumna, crowned by the winged orb of illumination. Every ancient medical symbol on earth is a veiled diagram of sex magic. But it is not only for couples. Solo cultivation, called brahmacharya in its highest form, or white tantra, is the foundation. The same force can be awakened through conscious self-pleasuring, breathwork, and visualization. The left hand becomes Shiva, the right hand Shakti, and the body becomes the sacred yantra of union. Many of the greatest adepts, Ramakrishna, Nikola Tesla, who claimed lifelong celibacy, fueled his genius. Even certain Buddhist monks who levitate in deep samadhi were masters of redirecting this energy inward and upward. The second great secret: sexual energy is polarized magnetism. Male and female bodies carry opposite charges. When a true yin-yang circuit is formed, whether physically or etherically, the voltage increases exponentially. This is why the ancient temples always depicted gods and goddesses in eternal embrace. Their union generates a third force, the child of fire, the Holy Spirit of the Christians, the secret fire of the alchemists. Two polarized beings in conscious sexual union create a living magical circle more powerful than any drawn with sword or wand. At the moment of shared peak, when breath is synchronized, hearts are locked in resonance, and intention is singular, the combined energy field becomes a literal stargate. Thought forms impregnated into this field manifest with terrifying speed. Healings occur spontaneously. Psychic abilities awaken overnight. Material desires crystallize into reality with an ease that feels like cheating the Matrix. This is why every mystery school warned, never perform sex magic with someone you do not fully love or trust at the soul level. Their subconscious fears, unresolved traumas, and hidden intentions will be amplified just as powerfully as your highest visions. The energy does not judge. It simply magnifies. Now descend deeper, seeker, past the pleasant theories and into the forbidden chambers where the real alchemy takes place. Third great secret. There are 3 distinct types of sex magic, and confusing them will either waste your power or drive you mad. Generative, white Tantra, the path of creation and manifestation. Here, the sexual charge is built to an exquisite peak and then consciously directed toward a single, crystallized intention, healing a loved one, attracting abundance, birthing a creative project, or anchoring a new reality into the physical plane. At the moment of shared, or solo, orgasm without loss, the visualized sigil or desire is impregnated into the astral light. The energy follows attention like lightning, follows the path of least resistance. This is the magic of the ancient fertility rites, and the true reason the Templars were said to manifest wealth from nothing. Transmutative, red Tantra, the path of inner alchemy and Kundalini awakening. No external goal. The fire is drawn upward through the chakras until the brain becomes a blazing cauldron. The pineal and pituitary glands swell and secrete the amrita, the nectar of immortality that drips down the throat, experienced as a sweet taste during deep practice. This is the internal orgasm spoken of by Gurdjieff and the valley orgasm of Mantak Chia. When mastered, the body becomes a perpetual motion machine of ecstasy. Time slows. Colors intensify. You walk through the world perpetually half in trance, half in command. Destructive, black Tantra, the left-hand path very few survive. Here the energy is deliberately used to dissolve the ego completely, often in cremation ground rites or with partners who embody taboo. The orgasm is offered as blood sacrifice to wrathful deities, Kali, Babylon, the Black Madonna. It is the lightning strike that burns away karma in a single flash, but if the vessel is not pure, it shatters. This is the path Aleister Crowley flirted with in his eroto-comatose lucidity workings, and the reason so many who dabble in sex magic for power end up addicted, depleted, or possessed. Fourth secret. The moment of orgasm is a death portal. In the Tantras, it is called Maha Samadhi, in the embrace. For 3 to 7 seconds, or hours in advanced practice, the ego completely dissolves. You are not you. There is only pure awareness riding the wave of creation. Whatever is held in consciousness at that exact instant is eternally etched into the Akashic record. This is why the ancients insisted on absolute purity of intention. A fleeting thought of jealousy, revenge, or lust for power during that window will return to you, magnified 1,000-fold. Fifth secret. The fluids themselves are alchemical gold. Semen retained and circulated becomes ohas, the luminous substance that gives saints their magnetic aura. Menstrual blood, far from being unclean, is the most concentrated source of yin prana on earth, rich with stem cells, hormones, and psychic sensitivity. In certain Kaula Tantric rites, a single drop of consciously offered menstrual blood mixed with semen and ingested, or applied to the third eye, was believed to grant cetus overnight. Modern practitioners who have revived this speak of instantaneous lucid dreaming, telepathic bonds, and visions of past lives. Sixth secret. Distance is irrelevant. Once two souls have formed a true heart link through conscious sex magic, they can continue the practice across continents. At an agreed-upon time, each partner enters solo cultivation while visualizing the other in perfect detail. The etheric bodies meet in the astral plane, the circuit completes, and the energy exchange is often more intense than physical union. Many twin flames separated by oceans report simultaneous full-body orgasms at the exact same minute. Seventh secret. The dark side no one talks about. Unconscious sex drains life force and creates etheric cords that act like parasitic tubes. Affairs, pornography, casual encounters. These leave hooks in the aura that continue to siphon energy long after the body has parted. This is the true occult meaning of soul ties. The only way to sever them is through conscious transmutation. Relive the encounter in meditation. Draw the stolen energy back into your own chakras. Forgive and release with love. Eighth secret. The ultimate goal is not power, it is union. All techniques, all circulations, all rituals are merely training wheels. The final stage is Mithuna, without movement, without breath, without thought. Two beings sitting in Yab-Yum lotus posture, gazing into each other's eyes until individual consciousness dissolves completely. This is the bridal chamber of the Gnostics, the Turiya state of the Upanishads, the great work accomplished. Here, sex is no longer an act. It is who you are. You are the eternal copulation of Shiva and Shakti, forever creating and destroying worlds in the bliss of your own embrace. Enough secrets. The flame has been passed. Now it is time to light your own fire. These techniques are drawn from the unbroken lineage, Taoist, Tantric, and Western alchemical, and have been tested by thousands in our time. Begin slowly. Respect the power. Never force. The energy knows the way if you listen. Foundation practice. Do this first, solo or with partner, awakening the microcosmic orbit. Sit or lie comfortably. Place your tongue on the roof of the mouth. This connects the two main channels. Chew. Breathe deeply into the lower belly for 5 to 10 minutes until you feel warmth or tingling in the perineum. On every inhale, imagine a golden ball of light rising from your sex center up the spine, passing tailbone, kidneys, back of heart, base of skull, crown. On every exhale, bring the light down the front of the body, through the third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, navel, back to the sex center. Do 36, 108 cycles daily. This alone will double your vitality in weeks and prepare the channels for stronger currents. The big draw, the master key for men, when arousal reaches 95% just before the point of no return. Stop all movement. Inhale sharply through the nose, clench the pelvic floor, as if stopping urination, and pull the energy upward while rolling the eyes back and up. Simultaneously, contract the toes, fists, and jaw, pulling energy from the entire body into the spine. Hold the breath and contractions for 9 to 18 seconds while visualizing the energy shooting up to the crown like a fountain. Exhale slowly through the mouth, relaxing everything except a gentle PC lock. Repeat 9 times before allowing release, or no release at all once mastery is gained. After 3 weeks, you will experience full-body orgasms that leave you energized instead of depleted. Ovarian or testicular breathing. For circulating without arousal, men, gently massage the testicles until warmth gathers. Inhale and draw that warmth up the spine with the mind alone. Women, place fingers on the ovaries. Inhale and draw the warm egg energy up through the uterus, up the spine to the brain. This can be done fully clothed, on a bus, in a meeting, turning every moment into alchemy. Solo sex magic ritual, white Tantra, manifestation. Prepare the space. Dim lights, incense, a sigil of your exact desire drawn on paper. Begin self-pleasure slowly, focusing only on sensation and love for your own body as the divine temple. As arousal builds, chant your intentions silently or aloud. Health flows to me now. My soulmate appears, etc. When orgasm approaches, perform the big draw, men, or contract the yoni in rhythmic pulses, women, while staring at the sigil. At the peak, mentally thrust the sigil into the universe with the full force of the orgasmic wave. Lie still for 10 minutes afterward, feeling gratitude as if it is already done. Burn the sigil and scatter the ashes. Results often appear within 3 to 28 days. Partnered sacred union, red tantra, transmutation and union, the 60-minute non-moving union. Sit in yab-yum, woman on man's lap, legs wrapped. Insert only if desired. Movement is optional. Synchronize breathing. Inhale together, exhale together. Gaze into the left eye of your partner, the window of the soul. Place right hand on each other's heart, left hand on sacrum. Circulate energy in the joined microcosmic orbit. Your exhale becomes their inhale. When the charge becomes unbearable, simply allow valley orgasms to roll through both bodies without friction. Time will dissolve. You will see light bodies, hear celestial music, and exchange souls. The 3 locks for women, during penetration or stimulation. Chin lock, Jalandhara Bandha, tuck chin, lengthen neck, abdominal lock, Uddiyana Bandha. Pull belly in and up, root lock, Mula Bandha. Squeeze vagina, anus, perineum. These draw the energy upward and create implosive full-body orgasms that can last 20-40 minutes. Cleansing and protection. After any practice, visualize white gold light pouring through the crown, flushing the channels. Take a cold shower or salt bath to close the aura. If you feel scattered afterward, eat grounding food, root vegetables, dark chocolate, and walk barefoot on earth. Common obstacles and solutions. I can't stop ejaculation. Start with edging for weeks before attempting the big draw. Use perineal pressure. Press firmly between anus and scrotum at the critical moment. Tuki. My partner isn't spiritual. Begin with sensual massage and synchronized breathing. No need to mention magic. The energy itself will awaken them. I feel guilty. This is religious programming. Counter it by meditating on the Song of Solomon, the Tantras, or the fact that every enlightened master honored the body. Nothing happens. You are forcing. Surrender completely. Pleasure is the doorway, not the goal. Practice daily for 40 days, and your life will never be the same. Your eyes will shine. Your magnetism will become irresistible. Synchronicities will hunt you down. You are no longer a mere human seeking power. You are the power, making love to existence itself. You stand now at the threshold of the innermost sanctum. Everything you have heard in this transmission, from the torch-lit temples of Egypt to the cremation ground rites of the Kaula Tantricus, from the secret circulations of the Taoists to the bridal chamber of the Gnostics, points to a single, thunderous truth. Your sexual energy is not a problem to be managed. It is not a sin to be repressed. It is not even a pleasure to be chaste. It is the living presence of the divine moving through your flesh, begging to be recognized, refined, and returned to its source. When you scatter this force in unconscious indulgence, you remain a slave, tired, distracted, and forever reaching for the next temporary high. When you master it, you become the magician, the priest, the goddess incarnate. Healing flows from your hands. Reality bends to your whispered intention. Your mere presence awakens others. And in the deepest moments of sacred union, whether with a beloved or with your own immortal soul, you remember, you are no longer making love. You are love, exploding into form for the sheer joy of knowing itself. The churches tried to bury this teaching. The empires tried to burn it. The modern world tried to pornographize and trivialize it. Yet here it is, resurrected, intact, and more potent than ever, placed directly into your hands. Do not let it slip away. Begin tonight. One conscious breath in the microcosmic orbit. One big draw that turns depletion into radiance. One gaze into your lover's eyes that dissolves the illusion of separation. 40 days from now, you will not recognize the being looking back in the mirror. Your aura will blaze. Your manifestations will arrive before you even finish asking. And you will finally understand why the ancients bowed to the lingam and yoni, because they are the original cross upon which the god was crucified and resurrected within every human body. This is the lost art of sex magic, no longer lost. The circle is complete. The serpent has swallowed its tail. The great work has moved from the pages of forbidden books into the temple of your own living body. Go now. Love fiercely. Create ruthlessly. Transmute everything. And when someone asks how you suddenly radiate like the sun, smile the smile of one who is remembered. Tell them only this: I learned how to make love to God, and God made love back. The flame is in your hands. Do not let it go out. Blessed be thy passions, for they are the wings of thy soul. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Amen. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this transmission has awakened something ancient within you, like this video, subscribe for more forbidden keys to the mysteries, and meet me in the comments below. Tell me which practice you will begin tonight. The age of secrets is over. The age of the awakened gods has begun. See you in the light.